What is up, everybody? Rory MacDonald, MacDon Associates, coming to you with the next episode of Tuesdays with Rory. And on this episode, we're going to be digging into something that's a little bit controversial and a little bit hard. And that is why your home is not selling, or why it's not selling for as much as it could have. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. Stay tuned. Here we go. All right, so first and foremost, here's where this is coming from. Here's where this conversation is coming from. I am seeing a lot of agents, both ones that I know, ones that I don't know, homes that are posted on the MLS, homes that are seeing online on social media, that are just not putting their sellers in the greatest position when it comes to selling their home as quickly as possible, and more importantly, netting their seller the most amount of money so that they can move on to their next thing. Now, how do I know this? Well, there's two things really that push a house in a position for it to maximize what it is going to get in the sale, as well as put it in a position to sell as quickly as possible. And it revolves around two things. And if one of these two things is missed, if one of these two things is not done as well as it could, you end up missing out as a seller. And so I don't want you, even if you're not working with me directly, I don't want you as a seller to be in a position where you're missing out on potentially tens of thousands of dollars in the sale of your home, or putting yourself in a spot where the timing in the transition period from one home to the next, or this state to the next, is not as smooth of a transition as it could or it should be, because the timing now doesn't line up. So that's what we're going to be talking about. That's what we're getting into. The first thing that I want to talk about, these two reasons. There are only two. That is it. And the reasons why homes don't sell for as much or as fast as they possibly could. The very first reason is under marketing. What do I mean when I mean under marketing? Most of you, when you look online and you're looking for houses, typically you're going to one of two sites. You're going to Zillow or you're going to realtor.com. There's nothing wrong with those sites. Those are great sites when it comes to looking at houses. However, some MLSs and some individual real estate agents, in their process of listing homes, don't do the right things in syndicating, it's called. That means allowing their listing information, their home that they're putting on the market, to be shared to some of these other websites. Just to give you a quick example of this, I'm on a call. This is an agent who's through EXP, the company that I belong with. They're in another state. And they realized one morning that the home that they had listed and they have had on the market for quite a while now didn't have the syndication that it should have, and it wasn't being shared to a couple sites like a Zillow and a realtor.com. Now, why is this a big deal? Well, that's where majority of people are at. If 50% of your purchasers, maybe even less than that, let's say 30% of your buyers who are potentially walking through a house never have the opportunity to see it because it's not in the places where they're looking, you're kind of missing out on a lot of purchasers walking through the house. And so syndication to those big websites, sharing your information, your listing to those websites, is a very big deal. It's huge. Now, there's a cost associated to that for real estate agents. And reality is some of them don't want to pay it. So the MLSs that they belong to or their company belongs to sometimes doesn't play nice and doesn't share. And so that's part of the reason for that. The other thing in syndicating is, what other sites does your property end up getting shared to? So through the MLS, I want to say it's about 72 websites that your listing, 74 maybe, that your listing goes out to. Now, I'm with EXP, like I said, but I know that through the MLS, my listing is shared with other sites like a Remax or a realtor.com, like we said before, or a Trulia, or a specific MLS that's up in northern Michigan, for example, that my clients they don't even know it exists, but now it's sharing to those sites as well. So I know that my listings are going to those ones as well, which increases the exposure, increases the number of potential buyers who are looking at the home. And it increases things. In addition to that, the company that I'm with, EXP, has also partnered with a couple other companies to share those listings to more places. Now, one of them is an off-market syndication company that we actually dump in the information for, but it goes all over the world. It's not specific to just the United States. It goes all over the world. And in sharing to things like that, we end up seeing like homes that are good investment properties, foreign investors potentially coming in and purchasing. And I know what you're thinking. You're like, I don't want a foreign investor potentially to buy this house. It doesn't matter where it goes to. It's going to go out. The goal here is to sell the house and net you the most amount of money. Reality is it really doesn't matter what happens to your home after. You need to sell it. That's our main priority. That's what we need to do. I can't guarantee that somebody's going to take care of your house once you leave. It is what it is. The second thing when it comes to marketing, so you've got Zillow. The other piece is social media. So being a part of a company that has 86,000 real estate agents nationwide, we're in all 50 states and in 26 different countries. When I share a home, it's being shared to a lot of agents. Now, there are sites like, for example, where I live, where it's a community. Hey, this is our area, homes that come on the market, for example, share them here. That's a really great option too. You can do that. That's great. It's a good thing. But in addition to doing all that, is your agent sharing things to their specific company dashboard for them to be able to push it out to other agents who are in Ohio and Indiana, other Midwestern states out west, all of those different places in order for them to see it as well. Because reality is there are some people who are just too busy to be on Zillow and too busy to be on Realtor.com. And so the only place where they see their homes, this is rare, but it does happen, the only place that they see the homes that are sent to them is through their agent directly. And so I don't want to miss out on those potential buyers too. That's a huge thing. In addition to that, social media, there's a marketing component that exists within social media. It's within within Facebook, and connected now through Meta. It's through Instagram as well. There's some marketing that can happen on places like LinkedIn. There's some marketing that can happen on places like TikTok and X and all these different places. And I am amazed sometimes at the number of agents who do not capitalize and, in my opinion, do what's right by their seller by pushing to those sites. Now, there's a cost associated with that, and that's probably the reason why most agents don't do it. But they don't push to these sites as a means of trying to find another purchaser. They kind of just list the house and cross their fingers and hope it goes to where it's supposed to go and it lands in the eyes of the right person, and hopefully we sell the house. That's how most people operate within this business, and it's kind of crazy. I don't understand it, especially on the social media side. Like, that is a huge place where people look and they see, and if you're able to use it to your advantage, I don't understand why you wouldn't. The other piece with that is, this is mind-blowingly crazy to me. I don't understand why this is still going on, but there are agents that are still not getting professional photos of homes. And some of you are like, okay, well, if it's an older home, I don't know if I necessarily need professional photos because it's not all decked out. Why do I need that? My agent wants me to pay for it directly. Here's how this operates here in my office, in my team here at eXp Clinton Township, at MacDonald Associates. This is how it operates. Every agent does their own thing. The way that I do my things, and the way that actually 100% of the agents within my office operate their business too, is we get professional photos. It is not an add-on and bonus of what you can pay for as the seller. No, we get professional photos because if it brings one more purchaser in your home, we want them there. We want your house to look perfect online, regardless of the age, regardless of the updates that are needed, regardless of anything. We want it looking perfect because our face is also going on this. Our branding, the way that we present ourselves, the way that we as an agency push out these listings, they have to be perfect. Every single one of them, whether it's the $70,000 house or condo, or it's the $2 million estate that we're selling. It doesn't matter. That is how we go about things. And it's the standard, in my opinion. That's baseline. Getting professional photos is baseline. And if your agent is not getting that, if they're walking through the house and taking photos and they're in the mirror in the background, you should fire them immediately. I don't care if they're family. I don't care if they're a close friend. That you're hiring them to sell your home. You're not hiring them to give them business. You're hiring them to sell your home, and you're paying them a lot of money to do it. So you should have a standard that's far above even what it is that they might be used to doing, and you should be blowing away. They should be blowing you away with their quality and what it is that they're doing, and that starts baseline with professional photos. If that doesn't exist, get rid of your agent and get a new one. last thing here. So all that being said, professional websites are a big thing right now. One of the things that we do in addition to getting photos, and this is again like baseline for us, this isn't for everybody, and this isn't necessarily something that you need, but baseline for us is professional photos. And then we have a personalized website for every home that we list. Reason for that is because we want people to go directly to the home and get information directly about that house, whether that be square footage, a video walkthrough of the home, a slideshow of the different photos, or you're able to, there's a request button right on there. You're able to click and say, hey, I want more information on this house. It's all right there. It's all right in front of them. So there's not like this third party that they need to shuffle through like a Zillow or a realtor.com, or heck, even Facebook in some instances. It goes directly to your agent, which there are some perks for that happening to you as a seller. And if you don't know what they are, again, you need to reach out to us over here at MacDon. So that's the first thing. 2 reasons why your house is not selling for the most amount of money or as fast as it could. 1, it's under marketed. All of the things that I just listed are part of under marketing. Second reason, and this is going to sound a little bit weird, but stick with me here, is your home is overpriced or it's priced incorrectly. Now, here's what I mean by that. I have some... if I go back to the very beginning, and I've learned this over the past, almost 10 years of doing this, I've learned how to use pricing your home as a strategy for marketing. And here's what I mean by that. Majority of people, and I'm giving away some secrets here. So this is top tier stuff that I use on a day-to-day basis to list and sell over 30 houses a year. And we move a lot of real estate on the team side too. So that's just me. But the one thing that I've learned throughout my time of doing this is the pricing strategy matters a ton. I've noticed in purchasers that I'm working with, they'll have a pre-approval, for example, that's up to like 330,000. And most times those people are going, okay, I want to stick around 330, but I know that there's instances where houses are out there that I might be able to be in a spot where I'm negotiating a little bit more. So why don't you start me at 350? And then I'll have another purchaser. Like, let's say, just give an example. This is a VA buyer that's moving here to Metro Detroit, and they have a budget of 275. It's a really great budget for this area. It's really going to be easy for us to find you something. A lot of times what they'll say is, hey, kick me up either to 250 or to 300, or, I don't want to go as high as 275. I know I'm approved that high, but I want to keep my payment lower. Keep me at 250. If you notice what it is that I'm hearing and what it is that I'm doing, majority of purchasers out there are keeping their searches from in the 50s and in the zeros, regardless of where their pre-approval falls. Now, if you get on any site, Zillow, realtor.com, the MLS, whatever it is, the way that these sites work is they put you in an order the moment that you hit enter. So when I say order, it's typically a high to low order unless you change it. So I'm looking for houses in Clinton Township. I have a budget up to 350. I want a 3-bed, 4-bath, or 3-bed, 2-bath. I need a backyard. I need a 2-car garage. I need a basement. I put all my criteria in. I hit enter. The very first homes that are going to come up are not going to be at 349.9. They're not going to be at 349.999. They're not going to be at 333. They're going to be at 35000. And so me as an agent that's primarily on the listing side have taken that into my advantage and going, okay, I don't just want to show up on your search. I want to show up first. I want to be the first home that you see. I want to be the first listing that comes up, because if I'm able to get in front of more eyes, reality is I'm going to get more clicks online. And if I get more clicks online, I'm going to get more showings. And if I get more showings, I'm going to get more offers. And if I get more offers, I'm going to end up with a better price for you when it comes to selling your home. So just to give you like another quick example of this, I have friends and family in the past that have sold houses. Used me, not used me. It's a variety of different situations. But I have a friend who is over on the west side. They were listed at $310,000. They sat on the market for, I think, 3 months, kind of in a more rural area. Sat on the market for about 3 months. Ended up in a spot where they didn't get any offers. Nothing happened. They said, Rory, I don't know what the heck is going on. We hired a friend, and ended up in a spot where like, hey, we're kind of upset. We're trying to figure out getting rid of him. Would you be open to this? I know it's a sticky situation. I said, yeah, I'd be happy to. Here's what needs to happen. Here's what you need to do. I ended up sitting down with them and I said, hey, here's the change that we're going to do. We're going to change your pricing. And I know that this is going to be hard for you to hear, but we're going to change your pricing of your home, your listing price, from $310 down to $300. And I know that's not a big change. And they were actually taken back a little bit, like, man, our agent was telling us $280, $285. Why only $300? And I explained this to them. Majority of buyers are going to be looking at a $300,000 house and not $310. Everybody who had their search set to $300 didn't even see your home. So let's lower it down to $300. We're going to end up seeing a lot more purchasers. In addition to that, they didn't have professional photos. They had the person in taking the photos that was sitting in the background in the bathroom with the mirror, and they were taking those photos. Like, it just looked like absolute crap. We ended up putting them in a spot where they actually got $315 for the sale of their home. So it sold for more than what it is that they previously had it listed. And it revolved around two things. One, the pricing strategy, and two, the marketing of the home. Here's another example. I know a lot of you guys are hearing this and going, oh, well, you're just telling us to lower the price, and that's the reason why you could bring in more buyers. Here's a different example. Had somebody, it was in the Fraser area. They were listed at $340,000. Beautiful house, really nice little ranch, 3-bed, 2-bath, really in great shape. They were in a spot where they were listed, I think, it's $240. They were listed for a really long time. I want to say it was 4 months on this one. Never changed the price, never did anything. And now, fast forward, they end up going expired. I sit down with that seller. I said, hey, we need to have a little bit deeper conversation. Let's get into this. Sat down with them, talked through our listing strategy, talked through this strategy, talked through the pricing strategy, got them professional photos that they didn't previously had from the other agent. This was an older home too. It needed a lot of updates, needed a lot of cleaning out. There was a lot that needed to be done. We listed that house for $250. We sold it for $245. So like immediately we increased the price in order to use that pricing strategy to our advantage, brought in a lot more purchasers, used professional photography, brought in a lot more purchasers, ended up selling the house in about 15 days. So I say all this to you just because I know the way the market is right now, and I know how many agents there are out there. And a lot of people are leaning more towards family, and there's nothing wrong with that as long as family is actually going to take care of you. So if you're out there and you're like, hey, I don't know, I have some ideas, I have some thoughts when it comes to this thing. Maybe I'm listed right now, or I'm in a spot where, hey, I'm probably going to end up going with somebody else. I need to be thinking through this. Or you're sitting down with other agents and maybe you're in a different market completely. These are the type of questions that you're needing to ask. What do you syndicate? Who do you syndicate through? What kind of photos do you get? Do you get professional photos? Do you have a professional website for me? What's your strategy when it comes to pricing the home? All of those things are huge in knowing exactly how your agent is going to be going through the process of listing your home and going through the process of marketing your home well to get it sold for the most amount of money and for the fastest amount of time possible. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. Thanks for sticking around for the video if you stick around for the whole thing. And if you got any questions, reach out to us here at MacDonald Associates. Happy to answer any questions that you all might have. But besides that, you guys have a blessed day. Start enjoying this beautiful Michigan weather, and I'll be seeing you.